Today we're going to tell you how to take care of the cutest animals alive, kitty kittens. Maybe we shouldn't compare kittens to babies, but what they have in common is that both should be treated real carefully. It asks for gentle attention, love from their mommies, specific toys, and much more. But don't stress out, because we summed up everything you need to know and we'll explain it in this video. Is it the first time you're about to adopt a kitten? In that case, preparation is key. Especially because it will make the kitten feel at ease sooner and it will make it easier to build a bond right away. For example, cats are extremely careful and want things to be organized in a way they prefer. It is, therefore, advised to have a litter box, food bowl, and a water bowl in separate areas. Also, it is advised to critically assess the products you buy, as kittens have other preferences compared to adult cats. The litter box, for example. The litter box with a low opening on one side is a good choice for young kittens, as it's easier for them to climb in and out. Having a different box for when they are older is not bad either. Another important aspect is the choice of food. Cats are picky eaters, and you want the best for your little furballs so they develop properly. Especially when they're still a kitten, you want the food to be well structured and easy to digest for them. Also, kitten food contains more vitamins and proteins to help with their growth and development. You should feed them at least twice a day from the age of 6 weeks. Often, pet stores have a section designated for kitten-only items and a feeding guidelines sign as well, which you should follow. So, now we have a proper litter box and food, but that's not all. It is also important to have a scratch ball to play with. Cats need a place to stretch their muscles and sharpen their claws. It is advised not to save on this. Another benefit of a good scratch ball your new friend enjoys is that it saves you some scratches on your furniture and keeps the house cleaner too. Then, toys. There are plenty of them in the market, and good news is, you don't have to spend a lot of money on them. Usually, cats like the simple toys to play with the most. What is important though, is that every time you bring them a new toy, you also spend some time playing with them to show them how it works. This will help develop their motor and hunting skills, and it will keep them entertained. Later in this video, we talk about another benefit of playing often with your kitten. Another important consideration is to make sure there are places for your kitten to sleep. Often they find quiet places themselves, on the couch, on the chair, on your bed. But having a cat bed somewhere in the corner of the room is super comforting, as it can function as their own shelter. The benefit of putting it somewhere in the corner is that your cat has a good overview of the room. Lastly, you need to take care of your new feline friend's health from the very beginning. This can be done with the tips we already gave you, but also by paying frequent visits to the vet. Well, you might already doubt whether you can afford having a kitten, right? On the other hand, we all know that taking care of an animal is an investment, and the benefits will for sure outweigh the costs. Right after your kitten is born, it has to stay with its mother for the first 12 weeks of its life. When you decide on getting a kitten, make sure you get to know how it was raised. It is a huge difference if it is being raised in a house around more kittens and people versus being raised in a shed or a pen far away from human society. This does not mean a kitten who grew up without people is less social than the one who did grow up with people. It just means these traits might take longer to develop with the latter type. When your kitten arrives at its new home, remember it can be a bit overwhelming. Though, it is important to make the kitten familiar with everyday life, including humans, certain smells, and sights. Make sure they have the opportunity to go for a quiet, safe place and let them explore at their own tempo. Let them know where to find toys, the litter box, and the water and food bowls. It might speak for itself, but give your new housemate a lot of love and pet them gently. This also includes being home most of the time. Cats are well known for being solitary animals and being able to entertain themselves. But as long as they're kittens, up to 6 to 9 months, do not leave your kitten home alone for too long. It is recommended to not stay away for more than a few hours. When your kitten grows older, you can leave it alone for a bit longer. These next tips will help you socialize your kitten and build a good relationship. Playing is a super important aspect in socializing your kitten. This will help them develop healthy and positive social skills for the rest of their lives. Whether you are playing with your new companion or simply giving them time to run around freely, make sure they can see you and that they recognize your voice. Try to introduce different types of toys and games to the kitten to keep them entertained, as well as helping you teach them good habits early on. For example, do not let them play with your hand too much. At younger ages it is fun, it is cute and it doesn't hurt. However, when they are older and have sharpened their claws and teeth, it is not so fun anymore. Playing also has an educational function. Your cat is a hunter by nature, but they can also be trained to use their brains in order to solve certain puzzles. This will keep their minds active and help them develop problem-solving skills that will help them in other areas of their life. So your kitty will be smart. Now here are some funny facts about your new friend. Kittens love to be touched, but they don't like being picked up. If your kitten runs away when you try to pick it up, let it get comfortable first before picking it up again. Many human babies are born with blue eyes. This is because our eyes are still developing when we are born, but we will eventually develop other eye colors such as brown or green. A funny fact about kittens is that they are born with blue eyes as well. Some breeds, like the Siamese, keep their blue color, while other breeds will change pigment within the first year of their life. Usually, after 1 year, the color of the eye has changed to its permanent color. Kittens see different than humans. It takes some time for kittens to fully develop their vision. Instead of their eyes, they mostly use their smell to navigate. It is also important to note that cats have a much better sense of smell than humans do. Their vision is fully developed after approximately 5 weeks, but it can take up to a year for them to learn to maneuver the world around them using both their sight and smell. Aside from a better smell, cats also have better eyes compared to human beings. This is because they have bigger pupils which allow more light into their retinas. This allows them to be more aware of their surroundings. Speaking of eyes, kittens are born with their eyes closed. They fully rely on their instinct and their mother to help them find their way. Kittens will open their eyes for the first time after 6 to 10 days after they are born. Kittens cannot regulate their body temperature. This means that they cannot cuddle up to stay warm or cool off in the summer. This is why they are best to be kept indoors in a well-insulated warm place in the winter and in a cool place like the garage during the summer. If you have a kitty that likes to wander around outside, it will most likely come home cold and wet because of the weather. So you should try to keep your pet indoors as much as possible, at least during the winter months when the temperatures are low outside. If your cat is prone to going outside, then you will want to make sure that it's always wearing a collar with an ID tag as well as a pet's license. So, now you have all the right tools to make sure your kitten is safe and sound in its new home. Once they grow adult, however, you will need to think about what type of cat food you will be feeding them. Should you buy wet food, dry food, or maybe both? Want to find out? Then check out our video made about wet versus dry food for cats by clicking right here.